Hello all and welcome back to The Chick That Digs the Long Ball. My name is Audrey Eero, the chick that digs the long ball. Um, yeah, I told you I'd be back with NASCAR from Loudon and was it Bash News, but it's been a week and I have no notes, took no notes, so I'm just going off the cuff tonight, this evening. So I just wanted to bring you some stuff now. A lot of stuff's been happening, so let me just, you know, ramble on about what's been going on, which I'm sure you guys know about. NASCAR from Loudon, was shortened, I think, 28 laps short last week in New Hampshire. So rookie Joey Logano, racing the number 20 Home Depot car, ended up winning, the youngest driver to do so. He was like 18, 19 years old. So he won his first NASCAR race. This past Saturday night, was the annual Coca-Cola 500 back in Daytona. Celebrate the July 4th weekend, by the way. Hope everyone had a happy 4th of July weekend. Segue. But Tony Stewart, after, accidentally, getting into Kyle Busch and wrecking him, ended up taking the lead and winning at Daytona Saturday night. So I think next week they're in Chicagoland. So NASCAR fans stay tuned to that. The Bash, gosh, there's a lot of stuff going on in the Bash. Let's see. I was, in a way, kind of pulling for the Miz there, thinking he might come up with the upset, but he didn't. Disappointed me. Then he couldn't win on Raw the next night. Loser. Okay, let's see if maybe he has some tricks up his sleeves. If he's gonna leave John Cena alone. I don't know. Let's see. CM Punk had an eye injury. I believe the eye injury. It's possible he could have an eye injury. Why is Jeff Hardy gotta be so angry? Anyway, CM Punk accidentally, kicked or hit the referee, got disqualified. So Jeff Hardy wins the match, but CM Punk retains his title. 3 Stages of Hell, close call. It was pretty short because, Triple H didn't let the first or second got himself disqualified intentionally, was helped him with Sledgehammer, first stage. And the second stage, with the help of the Sledgehammer, no holds barred, didn't last all that long. So that stretcher match with the help of, the lackeys and the owners, was able to pull out and retain his championship at the Bash. So up to Raw, where, this Night of Champions tournament, if you really call it a tournament, it was just like 4 guys competing. It could have thrown in some extra people. I guess Raw, that don't have that many people that are, you could even say is up to the caliber of even competing for a championship put in tournament. So Miz Cena rematch, John won again. He's hungry apparently to regain his title, regain the gold, in this case the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H beat out MVP, which was actually a pretty good, well wrestled match. Matchup was pretty close, but Triple H of course was able to pull out that. So tonight on Raw, it's gonna be Triple H versus John Cena, number 3, kind of a rubber match they're calling it, to determine who's gonna be the number 1 contender and face Randy Orton at Night of Champions. So there's good stuff at the Bash, but I'm just kind of going fast paced. It's been a week, y'all probably already know what's going on, what's happening. So let me just keep going from there. NBA is still a wild and crazy gun show, just okay corral type fast paced action. Everyone going everywhere with trades and free agencies. Kind of hectic and kind of crazy. Trevor Ariza and Ron Artest have apparently swapped places, with Artest going to LA, playing with the guy he guarded in this year's playoffs, Kobe Bryant, and the Lakers. And Trevor Ariza, apparently, Lakers weren't willing to give him the money he wanted, so he left and packed up to go back over to Texas and Houston Rockets. The ailing Rockets, I don't know what they're gonna do with Tracy McGrady. I think they should probably just let him go. He hasn't really produced much. He's been injured like every year. He's injured and gone like most of the year, and they were able to make the playoffs and make a good run without him. You know, it wasn't until Yao got injured that they hit the brakes on their playoff push. Speaking of Yao's injury, his foot, it's apparently maybe season ending. He might not get to play the entire 2009-2010 season, and there's speculation and rumors that it might be the catalyst for the end of his career. Which, I mean, what is it, the 2002 prospect, number one draft out of China? I think it'd be a huge blow to NBA and NBA China relations and stuff. The popularity over there may sink a little bit. And Yao Ming has been a great player. Done a lot. He's grown so much and done such good things for the Rockets. It'd be a horrible thing to see him go, especially for Rockets fans. But I think just for the NBA in general. So even though I'm a rival, in Dallas, fingers crossed that Yao Ming is able to come back. What else? Apparently the whole Boston Celtics, everyone on the team went over to Rasheed Wallace's house to make sure he signed with the team. So he's headed to Boston from Detroit. I mean, apparently Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, coach, GM, they all went over. Doc and Danny Ainge, they all went over to Rasheed Wallace's house. Apparently it worked because he's now signing with the Celtics. Yuto Turkoglu, he decided to settle in Toronto after leaving the Orlando Magic and their finals defeat. What else? Rorschach's in Cleveland. Allen Iverson he rather retire than play off the bench, so wherever he's going, I don't know. Jason Kidd apparently is staying here in Dallas and not going to the New York Knicks. Hopefully this doesn't discourage, any talks of Steve Nash coming back home. Maybe that's just me and my own personal whatever, but I don't care. I miss Stevie, and I hope he comes back. But right now, Jason Kidd is staying in Dallas. If he's gonna stay in Dallas, he's gonna have to be more productive. Assists, we're not lacking in assists. That's great. We need points, and I don't mean just the barely 10 points to give you your triple double that you always get. I mean substantial points. Be a pass first, shoot later kind of actual, traditional point guard, but get some points. Get 15, maybe 20 points in every other night. That really help our chances. But that's all I can really remember for basketball. Golf. Tiger Woods won his own tournament, the at&t National. Anthony Kim kind of folded in the final round. Wasn't able to putt right. Tiger, he won, shook his own hand, literally gave himself, thanked himself, gave himself his own interview, or interviewed himself. And from here it's on to the British Open. So before each tournament, before a major, he hasn't been able to win. He's won the tournament, hasn't been able to cash in on the major. Hopefully, this year, or this turnaround, he's able to win the British Open. What else is there? The world of sports. Okay, well, I can't think of anything kind of smaller, so I'll get into tennis, which I'm really, really excited to get into. First, it was an all Williams sisters final for the Wimbledon, the women's singles championship, and Serena was able to, she kind of just really dominated the match, particularly that second set. That first set, I believe, went into tiebreak. The second set, she really just dominated and was able to recapture the Wimbledon title away from Venus, who was looking for back-to-back-to-back titles at Wimbledon. But Serena was able to win, and it was her first Wimbledon championship since in the last 6 years, so since 2003. I think Venus's knee actually ended up bothering her in that second set. You could tell that she wasn't really mobile anymore. She wasn't able to just move around the court like she wanted to, and Serena just really dominated. So congratulations, Serena. They were also able to capture the doubles title right after their match, a few hours later. So congratulations to her. Only one thing kind of bothers me about